Tonight is really about Helen and Bob, and I think that from a personal point of view, from Joni and my point of view, we couldn't have picked better partners and better people, and people with real good values and people with a heart to really become the leader of this campaign. And in 3 years, through this difficult time, to have passed $950 million, and we are going to get to that $1.3 billion. You know, I think when you look around this room tonight, the people that are here tonight are people that are here because you are who you are, and you do what you do, and you're never thinking about yourself, but it's always thinking about how you can make something work better. And it's not just with money, but it's with your brains and with how you relate to people. And I think we're all blessed to have you as partners and leaders of this campaign. So really, thank you both very, very much.
Thank you, Sandy. I first want to thank the development staff for making this such a lovely celebration. We really appreciate it. Bob and I have been married for many, many years. Sometimes it seems like forever.
It is.
We met at Cornell as undergraduates many years ago, although he's much older than I am. And we have been active as alumni in both Ithaca and at the Medical College. Some of our closest friends are Cornellians or people that we have met and learned to love through Cornell. And we have a close relationship with the present administration, which we really appreciate. But that's in the past. Bob and I are very lucky, and that's how we've been able to do this. It's a lot of luck, and we appreciate that. But one of the mottos in our family is on to the next. And what is the next?
That's not the next we had in mind.
No, this is different. For Bob, it means going back to fundraising, because they still haven't gotten to the goal of $1.3 billion. But for all the rest of us, it's the hope for the future and the many benefits that will be received when this research building is finished on 69th Street. So I thank you all for coming, and I really appreciate your kind wishes.
Let me tell you about the two gifts that we gave, because they have rather interesting parts to them. The first gift we gave 3 years ago was to honor two friends of ours who had Alzheimer's. They both subsequently died at relatively young ages, and we established this Alzheimer's Institute in their honor. That institute, which is ongoing and we think really beginning to accelerate, will accelerate greatly when we have the new medical research building. The second gift that we gave on Sandy's boat, Sandy and Joan's boat, and by the way, what they did not say, we had to stay on the boat if we didn't give the gift. We had to get off the boat if we didn't, and we were in the middle of the Mediterranean. But nevertheless, we did give the gift. That gift had much broader meaning to us. In the first case, it was done because we so admire this institution. In a relatively short period of 5 or 6 or 7 years, it has become a major focal point of our life. And we have become very proud of our involvement and the people we met. We are clearly of the belief that this medical college has the best doctors, the most effective staff, and the smartest overseers of any school of its kind. And it's a pleasure to work with them. I can't name them all, but there are a few people have to. Sandy and Tony, you two guys, as I have met nobody in the world of philanthropy who faces things with your commitment and your compassion. You just set a model for everyone involved. Others we've worked with, like David Hajar, Steve Cohn, and my partner in fundraising, sitting over there, and the whole Larry and the whole development department, It's been great working with you. It's a wonderful group of people. And of course, I can't forget Ithaca, Peter Mining, Chairman of the Board, and David Scorton, both of whom are good personal friends. Not only are you guys great leaders up there, you're very supportive of this medical school and most appreciated by the people down here. The second reason we specifically made this gift was to support the medical research building, a building we firmly believe in, and a building that I was fortunate enough to be there at the very beginning of its conception when it was a gleam in Sandy and Tony's eye. It's been a very difficult voyage, from great elation to disappointment, and now finally approaching the finishing line. We think it have its done, and it's very, very exciting.
And I'm honored to be here and to welcome all of you to honor Bob and Helen Appel. I'm Tony Gatto, the Dean of the Medical College, who was portrayed by Dr. Hajar. Bob and Helen, between the two of them, have over a century of history of supporting Cornell University and its medical college. So, you know, that's pretty remarkable. In 2004, I was attending a meeting of the Board of Overseers in Ithaca when Harold Tanner said to me, you know, you might think about Bob Appel as a member of the Board of Overseers. Well, the minute the meeting adjourned, I didn't walk, I ran to Bob Appel. And so within an hour or so, we'd recruited him. One of the fastest recruits we ever made. Generally, Sandy and I dragged this out over a painstaking period for the person being interviewed, but this was already done. And Harold, we thank you for that, as well as your report, which really paved the way to making the medical school what it is today. So Bob joined the Board of Overseers, and then in 2006, we had finished early campaign number 2, a $750 million campaign to support the clinical academic enterprise. And Sandy and I asked Bob if he would chair the campaign for this current campaign, $1.3 billion for research building, to recruit researchers in translational medicine and the various major medical problems that we face today, from Alzheimer's disease, neuroscience, cardiovascular, genetics, pediatrics, infectious disease, diabetes, obesity. All of the major diseases are being addressed in this campaign. And Bob said yes. And then he said, I'm waiting for the next, waiting for the shoe to fall, which is what Joan and Sandy said in 1998 when we went, asked them if they would allow us to rename the medical college. But the shoe fell, and Bob and Helen gave $15 million. And then, as you've heard from this skit, we had the misfortune of welcoming them on the Weill boat off the coast of the Riviera this summer. And this one afternoon, as you heard, Sandy and I made Bob an offer he couldn't refuse. So Bob and Helen, after 15 minutes, agreed to double their gift. So Bob and Helen, would you please come forward?